Dortmund to beat United to teenage sensation. Henderson demands #1 spot. Arsenal wants son of a legend. Guardiola backs Foden, and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I am your host, Matt Froelich. You are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. First up, and apparently this week, according to reports in Germany, Borussia Dortmund will beat Manchester United to the signing of 16-year-old sensation Jude Bellingham. Now, he is the Birmingham City midfielder who has been attracting quite a lot of interest from around Europe, but it looks like Dortmund and Man United were the frontrunners. Apparently, Dortmund set forward the proposal that they basically turn him into the new Jadon Sancho. Not necessarily in playing style, just the fact they're going to bring over an English youngster and turn him into a world-class player in the next few years, whereas if he'd stayed in England, he may be playing in the lower divisions or signed by a big club and then play the reserves and not get much first-team football. On the flip side of this, Manchester United also tried to bring him into the club. Apparently he and his parents were invited and visited the Carrington training ground and were met by none other than Manchester United legend Sir Alex Ferguson and Chief Executive Ed Woodward. Besides this though, they did actually promise Bellingham that he would get a fair amount of minutes, but it just doesn't really compare to actually getting some quality game time. Of course, for Dortmund, there's also not a guarantee that he's going to get a lot of minutes. I can't see them starting him in big Champions League games, but there definitely will be a pathway through to the first team for him, especially if Jadon Sancho leaves. Bellingham isn't necessarily a wide midfielder like Jadon Sancho is, but he can play there as well as fight with the likes of Witsel, Delaney if he stays at the club, Emre Can, Torgan Hazard and Julian Brandt for a spot in the central midfield positions. So alongside this massive rumour, which potentially may or may not happen, there is some confirmed news, and that is that Dortmund have brought in Thomas Meunier. His contract with PSG expires at the end of the month and he will be moving to Germany. But moving on and to Dean Henderson. A lot of you probably thought I was talking about Jordan Henderson when I first mentioned this, but no, it is the Sheffield United on loan from Manchester United goalkeeper who really wants some demands with his new contract, mainly that he is the #1 at Old Trafford. Now, in the last few weeks, a lot of pressure has been mounting on David De Gea, especially with that performance against Spurs. Is he good enough to be United's #1? He's made so many mistakes this season. Maybe they should bring in someone new. It's a big and a very tough decision to make. The thing is, United obviously want to keep Henderson. He's a quality young goalkeeper. He's shown that at Sheffield United this season. And well, especially they don't want to lose him to a rival. If they can't give him the position that he wants at the club, both Chelsea and Tottenham are interested in bringing the England keeper in. The reason being, well, that actually Henderson often signs short contracts in Manchester United so he can keep his options open. The same thing has happened, and if they don't want to lose him on a free transfer, United will probably have to accept a little bit less money for him. In fact, it'll probably be less than they're actually going to get if they sell David De Gea in the first place. So in my opinion, they should sell De Gea and then state Henderson as #1. But next up, and to Arsenal, who have their well-known defensive problems, but it seems they're in line for a new attacker, that being Justin Kluivert, son of former legend Patrick Kluivert. Now, Justin Kluivert is currently at Roma, and since his move from Ajax, where he came through as a brilliant star, things haven't quite gone to plan. He moved to Roma ahead of maybe moving to another bigger club that was chasing when he was at Ajax, because he thought he'd get more game time. That poor form, inconsistency and a few injuries really have not helped him over the last few years, but he could be getting a fresh start at Arsenal. The reason being, Roma wants to keep Henrik Mkhitaryan. He's currently on loan from Arsenal. It's clear that Mikel Arteta doesn't have him in his plans, and so, well, if they're going to sell him to Roma, they're not going to get that much money for him because he's 31 and I'm not quite sure they get anything more than 20-25 million for him. But if they could sell him and get a young player with incredible potential in Justin Kluivert and someone they believe they could bring the best out of, that sounds like a pretty good deal. In the wide position, Arsenal actually have quite a few options. Aubameyang's been known to play out there. Personally, I think he's better through the middle. Nicolas Pepe is obviously there, going to be there for a while, considering they spent 72 million on him. There's Bukayo Saka, Martinelli can play out wide, Reece Nelson. So there's definitely competition for places, but I think in Arsenal's setup, Justin Kluivert really would thrive. But next up, though, we're talking to a young player that's thriving, and it's Phil Foden. It seems like every single season, Phil Foden comes in for a few games, does something unbelievable, and everyone thinks he's the future. He should be getting more minutes. Well, finally, it looks like his prayers have been answered. Pep Guardiola was absolutely raving about him after a fantastic performance in City's 5-0 thrashing of Burnley, during which Foden managed to bag 2 for himself. Guardiola basically said that Foden can go on to be a City legend, and with legendary David Silva leaving at the end of the season, Man City don't need to invest in a replacement because they have Foden. Now, I don't know about you guys, but these are pretty strong words from the manager, and if I was a young player, I would absolutely love to hear that, not only from my manager, but from one of the best managers in the world who definitely knows what he's talking about, considering the players that he has coached. As for Foden, it looks like he's going to go on for a long and legendary City career, much like his predecessor in David Silva. So next up, and a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news, and Fiorentina have said they will only sell star player Federico Chiesa if they receive a substantial offer. Zinedine Zidane has told the Real Madrid board to go out and get Lucas Ocampos from Sevilla, who is apparently rated at around 60 million euros. Chelsea have sold Mario Pasalic, the midfielder who signed 6 years ago and has never played for the first team because he's always been out on loan. He has been sold to Atalanta. And lastly but not least, Everton have confirmed that backup goalkeeper Martin Stekelenburg will be remaining with the side until the end of the current season before going back to join former club Ajax. So there you have it, that is all from me for today's daily news. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How good do we think Phil Foden can be? And what about Justin Kluivert as well? Whilst you're at it, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button for some exciting news coming up in the next week or so. And whilst you're at it, you can also check out what else we're doing on Onefootball by clicking here or here. That's all from me though, and until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.